When your wrist like this, you don't check the forecast every day it's gonna rain. Yeah, made a brick do a brick, gang whip up shit, this pure cocaine. Yeah, from the streets, but I got a little stick.
And every day it rains here on the Turnaround Sports Podcast. Welcome back. We apologize for some technical difficulties last week. Something happened and the computer system just got deleted, but
yeah. So our servers that we just got them and they went out and we haven't been able to post. So
we were in the lab, mixing something up for you guys, but we're sorry it got delayed a week. But we're back here and starting off with a brand new episode. Starting off with the good old Bleacher Report game. Most recent story tonight. What did we decide to go with? The Blake Bortles?
I think.
So, report coming out today saying that the Jags are going to move on from Blake Bortles. And, I don't know, we were just looking at the free agents this year, the draft class coming up this year, and if you're even exploring a trade, really, and this is about the worst possible year to need a quarterback. Yeah.
Last year was
absolutely golden. So, I mean, when you ask the Jacksonville front office, like, what are you doing? You went into this year, the only thing keeping that team from winning a Super Bowl last year was Blake Bortles.
Was a quarterback.
Yeah. So you go into this year and you need to improve one thing. Why would you not do that? Like, what do you expect? Are you expecting him to just completely, turn it around?
I don't even remember them trying to pursue.
No, they didn't. They took a stance saying that they're gonna
follow Blake Bortles.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, I mean, I don't know. There's just nobody. I mean, I'm looking at free agents for next year. Matt Schaub, Derek Anderson, Matt Barkley, Matt Castle, Brandon Whedon,
Tyrod's probably the only.
Geno Smith, Brock Osweiler, Trevor Siemian. There is nobody that you can maybe Tyrod, and you can get him for 3 years or something, and then hopefully a good quarterback class comes out.
Tyrod was awful this year. Is he that much of an improvement over Bortles?
I don't know. I don't know. There's just
maybe trade for one. That's I don't know. But either way, they're not in the best quarterback situation.
No, and the problem with that is that is all they need.
And it's funny because
the Texans were for the past 4 years.
It's not like Blake Bortles was really good.
We got Deshaun Watson. Look where we are now.
It's not like Blake Bortles was really good and he completely just dropped off the face of it. He's had this problem for a while, and they backed him and backed him and backed him. And going into this year, they just completely backed him up, and who knows why. And now they need a quarterback, and that's our only issue. And now they're gonna have trouble finding one.
But I don't know. It just baffles me because they went from last year losing to the Patriots in the AFC Championship. I'm pretty sure it was a pretty close game, wasn't it? Yeah.
No, they should have won.
But
they were 20 or something.
Yeah, and
just couldn't close it out.
And then you go with Blake Bortles. You have the same exact team. Nothing changed.
No, really. Nothing.
And they are what, 4 and 9. Yeah, 4 and 9 right now. Bottom of the AFC South. And
looking at a top 5 draft pick, probably.
And no quarterbacks to look for with that top 5 pick.
Yeah. Probably go somewhere else with it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just probably a wide receiver is what they probably need the most, or an offensive lineman maybe. But I don't know.
They needed a wide receiver for.
I mean, the last decent wide receiver I remember is Allen Robinson. Yeah. But before that,
I guess they still have Allen Robinson. But he's been battling injuries.
Yeah. So. And he hasn't been as good as he was, but. Yeah, so I don't know about the Jags. We'll see. But they might just be going. They might be on a downhill slope. We got some paper towels with this. They might be on a downhill path, here for a couple of years. We'll see. Plus, I was saying, how even in a couple of years, say they are able to get a quarterback, there's no way they're gonna have the defense they have now. They're not gonna be able to re-sign those guys, So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I agree with not giving up Blake Bortles, but at the same time, it's
it should have happened about
last season or 2 years ago or whatever. Insane.
Yeah, I agree. Going on to the next story, talk a little baseball. I haven't talked about baseball in
a
while. Yeah,
a week after the Rockies lost, I think.
Yeah, but so. Talk about Bryce Harper. Where do you see him going? The Nats.
I have no idea.
This comes up because the Nats manager said today that they're probably not going to re-sign him, and I think he knew that once they gave him that disrespectful what was it, like 10-year, $280 million deal
it
or
was
something?
very disrespectful.
And if I was Bryce after everything he's given them, I don't know if I try. And like, don't get me wrong, I don't think Bryce is a $400 million guy. I think he's in the ballpark of probably $32 million a year.
Yeah,
But I don't think you undercut
for
him.
10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, $300 million.
Or
At least he
300
should be 300. I think. I don't know. It's kind of. I have no idea where he's gonna go. I don't even have idea. I mean,
I think the first possibility is New York Yankees.
I mean, yeah, but
it's so easy just to throw Yankees.
But it's
I heard
so
he was gonna.
easy. Like they have the money, of course. Like they could get him.
There is a
and their
report-
outfield would be Bryce Harper, Judge, and Stanton,
Yeah.
which is insane because those are three of the biggest outfielding hitters in the league.
Yeah. In sports.
Yeah, it's sports. But
some of the best hitters in the
that's
world.
just too easy though. I don't know.
Any sport.
But I don't know where else. Have the Phillies talked to him, right? Have the Phillies talked about him?
The Phillies have
They could.
there's a report saying that Magic met with him in Vegas with the Dodgers, but I don't know. Magic turned that down, so who knows? But he also really turned down meeting with LeBron and look what happened there. But
yeah. So I don't know. I don't really have any ideas where he's going. It'd be annoying if it was New York, just because
that's how baseball is, though.
That's baseball, and it's frustrating. But I don't know. I honestly have no idea, though. Do you know? Yeah. I don't have a clue.
Right now,
who's in the? Who is that? Phillies, New York. Who else is in there?
He can really go anywhere.
I have no idea.
I think he's just asking for too much, and I think that could hurt him. I think it's going to get to the point, if he doesn't sign soon, it's going to get close to the season, and no one's going to want to give him that money. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And plus, he didn't have
his year last year. Yeah. If he signed the year before, yeah. But
he'd have been a $400 million guy.
Yeah, after his MVP.
Yeah, he definitely lost a lot of money after this season, and I don't know where he's going to go. But it'll be interesting. It'll be fun to... I want to see where he goes.
All right, next topic. We got a little Heisman talk with this week. Kyler Murray overpassing Tua. I don't know. What are your thoughts about that? I
like it.
Winning the Heisman Award is one of the toughest awards to win in all of sports because you really have to be flawless. It just shows
college football's that way.
Tua, that was
there's too many other people to compete with.
That was his first. I mean, he got hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah, he got hurt. I think to me, Tua's a good quarterback. I haven't followed college football extremely closely, but I feel like people are hyping him up way too much because you also have to think that he is Alabama's quarterback.
Yeah.
You don't have to be that good. Who was the
Jalen Hurts?
No, the guy a couple of years ago.
AJ McCarron.
Yeah, AJ McCarron came out, and what has he done?
Yeah.
He was a good quarterback for Alabama.
When's the last time an Alabama quarterback did anything in the NFL?
And that's the easy statement to make it, but that's what I'm trying to say with AJ McCarron. He was a good quarterback. People thought he was a good quarterback, and he has not done anything. And I think Tua's overrated. I think he has really good athletic ability. And it was incredible what he did last year in the national championship game.
He's had a great year, but it's just...
But Kyler Murray is he is Oklahoma.
He is.
That's
the same with Baker.
If you take Tua off of Alabama, they're still gonna go winless.
Jalen Hurts is probably gonna.
Even if you take him off, they're still gonna win. 8 games or whatever. Because they play 10 or 12. They play 12. Or they play 12. Yeah, so they're still gonna win 10 games.
11 or bowl games.
At least, and they'll lose. They would probably if you take away Hurts and Tua, and you throw in some bum. Their only losses are probably going to be to Georgia.
Yeah, they'll win
9
games.
But Kyler Murray is such an offensive talent. He is he's the only reason they're in the playoffs.
It's like with Jameis Winston at Florida State, that one backup came in and they did not.
Yeah,
play.
And they're bad.
If Baker, whoever.
Baker got hurt.
I mean, that might be weird because it was Kyler Murray there last year, so I mean that's kind of.
I honestly don't know.
So I think he was, but.
But isn't he?
He might be. He might be a freshman.
I think he might have.
But anyway, it's still A lot of people say with
like
Brady, but it's like Alabama's definitely a system, and you can throw in a lot of quarterbacks.
Oh,
in
they'd
there.
be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like if you put how I see is if you put Kyler Murray on Alabama, they would have like.
I don't know though.
Like,
He doesn't
that's
really
what's
fit
up.
their. It's the same thing with Jalen.
Yeah.
He doesn't fit their system as much. You need like
No,
a
you're
Blake
right.
Bortles type quarterback guy who's just gonna kind of like
Make
sit in
passes and not turn the ball
just
over.
not turn the ball over, sit in the pocket, make decent throws.
Clock,
Yeah.
West Coast kind of guy.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I don't know. I just think what Kyler Murray's been able to do is just like phenomenal, and I think he deserves, especially after what he did last week. I think he definitely deserves that top spot right now, or at least the top projection or ranking, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, sticking with college football, the college football playoffs were announced on Sunday.
Those aren't even until like New Year's. Right?
No, that's like the 29th and 30th, I think.
Which is weird. They took like 4 weeks off.
Yeah, no, that's how they do it though. Yeah, and then they
don't
play
remember
the
them
national
doing that.
championship. Yeah, that's what they always do. They play the national championship on like the 4th of
That's
January.
weird. That's gonna be weird for players like play every week, and then all of a sudden you have like 3 weeks off.
Yeah.
And then you have to go play the biggest game of your
Well, they don't
life.
have weeks. I mean, they practice just like.
No, yeah, of course, but
not
like no
having a game.
games.
Yeah. Anyway,
Like
came out
just
with it.
practice like preparing for like because Oklahoma's
Yeah.
a 4, right? Like
Yeah.
Oklahoma's preparing for Alabama for like 2.5 weeks, and Alabama vice versa. But like that's gonna be weird.
But yeah, anyway, did they get it right?
Sure.
Alabama versus Oklahoma.
I'm gonna
Clemson
say
versus-
sure because I
It's the
think
only debate
Ohio
you
State
can have is
and
that-
Oklahoma are identical. Like
Yeah.
they're pretty much the same team to me. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
What a god
throw
tough
Ohio
is
State in
if
there,
Georgia
then-
won. I think that would have been
Oh,
tough.
Georgia won. then
Actually, I don't think. Actually, I don't think that would.
crazy.
I don't think it wouldn't have been that. I don't think it would be that tough.
No, because you'd be able to just do.
Georgia would be
you
in.
got Alabama, Georgia, Clemson.
Yeah, I think it'd be. I think you'd do.
make it easier.
I think you'd do Clemson versus Alabama, which would have been crazy.
Yeah.
And then Georgia versus Notre Dame.
Yeah, that would have been. You think so now you would've got it.
Alabama being a one-loss team versus that's hypothetical. We don't really need to talk about that, but we've talked about it on the show before. And I think the main issue about this is you need at least 6 teams in there every year. Every year.
Is this what we talked about this last week on the podcast? We didn't post, so we can cover it now. But like, that is, I don't know. It makes no sense.
beat Michigan by 30 points.
Yes, and then their
And then
only
they-
loss was to.
That's a bad loss.
Was it
Like,
Purdue?
that's the one.
Was
Yeah,
it-
Purdue. That was the one thing that kept them out over Oklahoma, in my opinion.
Oh, it is. No, by far. If that loss was to anybody better than Purdue, then
But
they'd
Ohio
be it
State
probably.
couldn't do much more than they did. Same with Georgia. Like when you
No.
and all these people are pissed at Georgia because Georgia finished 5th over Ohio State, who stayed at 6th, and everyone was all pissed off about it. Georgia would smack them.
No, Georgia would destroy them.
Georgia
would smack
Georgia
Oklahoma.
got screwed over.
They did. They're a better team,
Tell
but like
me-
2 losses,
tell me-
you can't put them in.
No, I know you. No, I'm not disagreeing that you can't put them in, but like, tell me.
No, they do get screwed.
Tell me, like,
They're the second or third. They're right there with
at the
Clemson.
time, they lost to the number 3 or 4 team in the nation in LSU on the road.
Yeah,
And it was a good game. And then they lose. They give Alabama the best game of the year by far and lose
Yeah.
in the last possession. It's like, what do you do about that? Like,
You can't do it. Yeah.
I mean, in the end, you lost, so you don't deserve to be in. But like, come on, if Ohio State had to play Alabama and LSU on the road, they're gonna lose those 2 games.
Oh yeah. No.
So I mean,
anybody's losing those.
that's why I
games.
think you need to have 6 every single year. At least 1 or 2 teams get snubbed,
At
and then
least
it
6.
drops off.
At least 6.
Then I think 6 is
and then
good just
give
because.
those 2 top teams buys. And
I just think 6 is perfect because after that it really drops off.
No, yeah,
and then
because
there's
at that
no
point you're
question.
like putting like Michigan in and LSU.
But you even
or,
get to the point like Washington State. Like if Washington State won
that
they ended up
game.
losing. But if they won, they would be a 1-loss team, and they won the Pac-12. So you get to a point where it's like
Which is
at least give them a shot to play in a playoff
Yeah,
game. Like
exactly.
you never know, but
Yeah, I agree with that, but like we talked about this last week, they definitely need to go to 16.
At least
there's
6.
There's no reason it shouldn't be 6.
I think 8's probably better because I don't with how much time they already have off. I don't know if I really like the whole bye situation,
Yeah,
but yeah.
but it's the same?
I think it would be really cool if you won your conference championship, you automatically got in. If you're a Power 5 and you won, that'd make it
Yeah, if
cool.
they took like Big
That'd make
Ten,
it really
SEC,
cool. Because then you'd have
Pac-12.
teams like Pittsburgh this year who could possibly beat Clemson.
That's true.
That'd be stupid.
Because that would
that'd
put
be
like
fun.
like the March Madness kind of feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if a team makes a run in their
Yeah,
in their
exactly.
conference tournament, all of a sudden they're in the
Yeah,
you know.
but Yeah, so I mean, I think it definitely needs to be 8, but I do think they got it right technically, even though I think the best 4 teams in college football, Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, and Georgia.
Yeah.
But it is what it
I
is.
agree with that, but yep. You gotta.
Going over some scores real quick.
Oh, who's up?
I'm just kidding. All right, on to basketball now. We decided to do we'll probably talk about the Nuggets once a week. Have a little segment where we talk about them for 5, 10, 15 minutes, who knows, however long it gets us, and just kind of debrief the week with them. The Nuggets this week have been hot. And it's weird, because I'm not going to sit here and say they've been playing about as good as they could play, because they flat out have it. But what's good about this team, what's different about this team, they find ways to win.
Yeah.
Like last year, they didn't really play all that much worse.
They couldn't find ways to win.
I don't want to say that because our defense was 3rd in the league this year. Last year, they were 23rd.
Yeah.
But it's just nice to see them actually pulling these games out, these close games. Every single game is like, oh, we'll be up to the Raptors by 12. It comes down to the wire. Here we go.
The first game they haven't had a lead in the last 5 minutes?
No, there's been a few. But,
right.
Yeah, but still, and it's. Oof, I mean, they're looking good right now. Bleacher Report came out with their power rankings today, and they had us at 3 over the Raptors, which like they should. Raptors are the best team in basketball right now, and then over the Bucks, which I thought was so stupid. The Bucks have gone.
Raptors and Bucks over.
Bucks have gone like 6-6, I think, in their last 12. They lost to the Suns. They had a couple bad. I think the Mavericks or something.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. That's fine though. They can keep sleep on the Nuggets.
And then,
it's like the Texans.
And the Nuggets go out tonight and lose in Charlotte and play the worst game of the year probably. Defense was awful.
Oh, it's so bad. Shooting.
Offense, they couldn't do anything. The lack of
injuries. I mean, Millsap got hurt.
We got to go to Atlanta tomorrow.
I think Beasley got hurt throughout the game.
Should rebound. I mean, if we
they'll be fine.
If we
do they play tomorrow again?
The Hawks.
Yeah.
So if we don't lose tomorrow, that's a problem. But
if you don't win tomorrow, that's a problem.
If we don't win tomorrow, sorry.
You're trying to your words there, big guy. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, that's fine. It's good to have games like this though, because it's a wake up call. And you know, it's not the end of the world. It's one game, and it's better to be better against good teams than bad teams, because
that's for sure.
Like if you choke to big teams, then you're never gonna make it anywhere in the playoffs. But if we can beat teams like Toronto and Golden State and
for sure, especially when
Boston
you're
stuff like that, helps in the playoffs. Like
and
having that
people,
confidence.
People forget we are without 2 starters, and Millsap didn't even play the whole second half tonight, pretty much. So right now we're without 2 starters and a guy who's averaged 27 points in the league before. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know, and a first-round draft pick and Michael Porter. So I think.
Who do you think the 2 Who's the 2 starters?
Gary and Barton.
Oh, Gary. I forgot that Gary did play.
Yeah. So.
Would they all start? Them 2 and Murray?
No. What?
Not starters.
Oh yeah, Barton's at the 3.
Really?
Yeah. He started the first 4 games of the year.
Oh. Well, I
the first 4 games they started Gary,
No, I know, but
Jamal, Gary, Barton, Millsap, and Jokic. That's what the 5 should be.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Wancho off the bench, Malik off the bench, IT and Monte off the bench. Team is deep. Mason Plumlee off the bench. How tall is
Will Barton?
6'8", 6'9".
Yeah. Like shorter.
No, good small forward. So, yeah, I mean, I just think this team, it's definitely different. I think.
They're so deep. It's crazy how deep they are.
You can't blame it. I really like how they've overcome all these injuries. It's so easy in this league to get one guy out or 2 guys, especially now. They have like we just said, so many guys out, and they've still been winning. And for guys like Monte Morris and Trey Lyles to just step up.
Yeah,
even Malik didn't have his best game, but Malik's been really good.
It seems like, I was saying this earlier, it seems like every single game we have someone off the bench who's in double digits, or 1 or 2 guys off the bench at least.
Yeah.
Which I feel like it's not uncommon, but it's
so
always
nice to
there.
have you.
It's
Yeah,
always
so
there.
nice
Like
to have
Trey
you.
Lyles or like somebody off the bench just
People
comes
take it
in
for
and plays
granted.
well.
People take it for granted so much. When our bench has a bad game, it's one of the most frustrating.
Oh
things.
yeah, that's what it kills. It'll kill you.
Because people always
Unless
people are always
Jokic or Murray or someone has a huge game.
you don't need your bench, but when your bench has a bad game, sometimes it is so important.
Yeah,
That's why I love our bench. though. Our bench, they're just a bunch of.
Well, we were talking about it earlier.
Gritty guys.
The bench, you can make like a starting NBA lineup with the Nuggets bench.
Oh yeah, when they're healthy for sure.
You could, yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, I mean
You're gonna IT Monte,
Lyles,
Plumlee, and Wancho.
Yeah.
And that's leaving Malik Beasley out and Torrey Craig. They beat the Hawks. They beat the Hawks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, exactly. So they'd be a bottom in the NBA team, but they would be an NBA. That's an NBA starting lineup. Like it's not a good. Don't get me wrong. It's not a good lineup, but like that's
just hypothetical
they,
too.
But they can
You're
start.
leaving out 5 starters.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. So
This Nuggets seems good.
They're fun to watch too.
They're still not there yet. I mean, you still got.
I know.
Our core is still like 24, 25 years old, which is crazy, but
very crazy.
Fun to watch.
Yes, sir.
All right, on to our next topic.
Fun to watch when not watch.
Avalanche. I guess before we start this segment, because tonight we're kind of just walking through a lot of Denver teams real quick. So before we started the podcast, I guess shout out to Ethan and the No Agenda Sports podcast. Go give those guys a follow because they kind of gave us a little inspiration to start it. We wanted to do one for a while, but kind of saw them doing it, so thought we'd try it, and we've had a blast, I'd say. It's very fun.
Oh, yeah.
But
podcast in general. I was confused with what you were trying to say.
No, I'm still going. But for the longest time, I shouldn't say the longest time, probably like a week or week and a half, we could not figure out a name for the podcast. And what did we decide? I think we named it something, and then TNN, which was so stupid. And
Tyler and Nate.
Then my teams started playing well. So in case you guys don't know, I'm a Browns, Nuggets, Nuggets, Avs. Yeah, Browns, Nuggets, Avs.
I think you know Nick.
Man United,
maybe Ethan's listening.
And Rockies fan. Sorry. And I've had the worst. I'm the biggest sports fan ever, and I've just had the worst luck with my sports teams. Like they are all so bad. And I mean, recently, like the Nuggets are in first, the Avs are in second, the Rockies made
in second now.
Yeah,
that's true. They
Rockies
lost to the Penguins and they lost to the St. Louis, right?
Yeah, and the Rockies made the playoffs. The Nuggets are in first, the Avs are in second. So.
And the Nuggets are in first. And
you keep interrupting me, so I'm making sure they're here. Anyway.
And the Rockies just went to the playoffs, and the Nuggets are in first.
So I thought, and even with you, the Texans getting hot.
Oh, yeah, the Texans
you're a Nuggets
4-12 to
one of the best teams.
We went from after the Browns won in when did you guys win 3? Week 3, week 4? I think it was week 3, right?
What? Our first one?
First one?
Yeah, 3.
Week 3. After the Browns won, the Texans held the longest losing streak in the league, like week to week.
Yeah.
It was like 16 weeks or something like that, and now we have the longest active winning streak in the NFL, which is crazy.
So then that's when I came up with the name Turnaround Sports Podcast, because I feel like all our teams are turning around, and maybe our fortunes are turning. But with that being said, we're going to talk about the Avalanche a little bit, going from... They were a good team last year, but they had the same problem as the Nuggets. Like they just could not finish games.
And they're still not the best at it. Like
they were the youngest team in the league last year.
Still can't win in overtime.
Yeah, no, if we go to overtime, we're screwed.
It's so weird. With Ransom and McKinnon
this year? I think one maybe. I think
we won that one where they scored with like 1 second.
Oh yeah,
remember that?
Yeah.
I didn't watch that game, but I remember it.
Yeah.
But it's just weird because you would think that they'd be a really good overtime team with McKinnon, Ransom.
We have the best front line in the league.
2 top point scorers in the NHL, and then you throw in like Barry or somebody there who could play defense, and like, are you kidding? Like, you should win every overtime.
Yeah. But it's still, I mean, that's one frustrating thing about them. But I mean, at least we're picking up points still. We're still like, I think we might not be the youngest anymore, but we're gotta be top 5 youngest teams in the NHL.
Oh, easily top 3.
They
might still be the youngest. I don't know how they wouldn't be the youngest.
But yeah. And so that's so nice to see. Nice to see how good they are and how young they are. So I think this team will be good for a while.
Oh yeah.
They're winning games they should win this year. Some of them
good.
Every team has frustrating games, but They're winning games.
Like against Pittsburgh, like Sidney Crosby beat us.
No.
Or no, wait, we beat Pittsburgh. We just lost to
That's
Pittsburgh.
what
Sidney Crosby didn't
Henry
beat,
Lamo.
Yeah.
Well, I can't
something.
remember.
Yeah.
I don't watch that much hockey. But
Anyways, but
the last 2 times
the
we played
first time we
Pittsburgh,
played Pittsburgh,
Crosby
which is
killed
when we
us.
won, but the only reason we won, it was a really close game. The final was like 6-3.
both times we played Pittsburgh, the same thing happened. It was both teams went up 3-0 at home. We went up at their place. They went up 3-0.
And then they pulled the goalie and they scored 2 stupid goals.
Both times we both
theoretically
teams
it was 4-3. But
yeah.
The only reason the Penguins were in that game is because of Sidney Crosby, which is like the Penguins are a really good team and like that should be a good game, and both of them were good games. And like you said, we're smacking teams that we should be smacking.
We're still beat. We went to Nashville and beat them.
Yeah,
like that's how you know times because we won there once in the playoff series last year, but then we couldn't hang with them. Like they were a much better team than us. But I think this team's different. I think they can definitely make a deep playoff push.
Indeed, I'm excited.
So, all right, we forgot to. I guess this is why we didn't post it last week, is because we forgot to do the phone a fan.
Yeah.
But not just kidding. But we did forget to do phone a fan last week. So what we remembered this week. So if you don't know, we phone a random fan,
random ongoer,
and call them about a sports topic. Depends who it lands on. We'll see what we want to talk about. Let's get the wheel pulled up. And here we go. All right, we got Matt White. Matt White has been called before. He texted me about 10 minutes after saying what's up. So let's see if he
answer this time.
See if he picks up the phone. I don't know what we're gonna talk with Matt about, but we'll see. He did call the podcast dope, by the way. So if he answers, I'm sure he'd love to have a quick chat. Hopefully he's in the grocery store or something. He used to work at King Super, so snacking pears, as Matt would say.
Oh, jeez.
Well, it looks like we're not going to get him.
Ring, 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 ring. Pick up the phone. Ring, 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 ring.
All right, we'll run it again. We're running out of candidates. We really should.
We need a refresh.
We should add more.
We need a little bit of a refresher. There we go.
There we go. J-Dollabills on the podcast. Might have to talk some Saints with him, but
he didn't answer last time.
No, he didn't. No.
We should talk some Saints. Big loss last week. That's right. We didn't.
I think it's this one.
We have.
I just have his name is Josh, and I'm pretty sure he used to be good. Call him last time. I think if Josh doesn't work, we'll have to cut it this week. I don't know. Otherwise, no, we'll call Troy for you guys.
Yeah. Josh doesn't answer.
What's up?
Josh, you're on the podcast.
What's up?
You're on the podcast, the Turnaround Sports podcast.
Yeah. How's it going?
How's it going? I'm at work.
See, that's what's fun about Phone a Fan, guys. The Phone a Fan segment calls people at unexpected times. We don't let them know we're calling them. So how about those Saints, huh?
Best team in the league.
You think?
You still think
you guys lost to the Cowboys?
Losing to the Cowboys? You still think that?
How many points you scored? 10, 9?
We're getting lazy. It's late in the season.
Can't do that.
Content because we got 10 wins in a row, but that's okay because we got the best quarterback in the league. And
I'm not going to argue with that.
So you think this is the Saints year? This is the Saints year for a Super Bowl?
I do, and I believe it's because of our defense. We got
the best run D in the league.
Think you guys can beat the Rams again?
Yeah, how do you like that?
Smack the Rams. The score doesn't show how bad we smacked the Rams because it was a blowout until we let them come back in the second half.
So you think you beat them again, though?
What's up?
You think you beat them again?
For sure. I know how people think it's very hard to beat a team twice in this league, but the way we dominated them, I'm sure it won't be too tough to beat them again.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on. This is why we love Phone a Fan. It's so unexpected, and people love it. But thanks for coming on. We'll have you on again.
Thanks for having me on the show.
All right. See you. How's the Phone a Fan's great.
It's
Phone
so great. Where did you do it?
I'm at work. You know, it's like we don't care.
How am I doing? I'm at work. Where does he work?
I have no idea.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll find
I had
out.
time to call, but anyway.
How am I doing? I'm at work.
So I think we'll lead into football with that now.
Yes, sir.
With our first topic in football being Mike McCarthy being fired after, what, 11 years?
I thought it was more than that. I thought it was like 14. I think it was 14. I think it was
14. 14 years with the Packers. Don't quote us, sorry. It might be 14, might be.
I think it was 14.
I think it was 14
I'm pretty
too.
sure.
Anyway, 14 years with the Packers, and it was time. Like, I don't think anybody's.
No, nobody
arguing.
doubted it.
I don't think anyone's.
The only thing
arguing.
that shocked me was just right in the middle of the season.
That's what happens when you lose to the
Which is
Cardinals
when-
at home.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right.
And you have one of the worst
and
offenses.
it's good. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
sometimes it's good to do that,
Aaron
though.
Rodgers only has.
Sometimes it's good to do that
Yeah.
because you see where your team really is at the rest of the year, and then you're able to
That was
you're able
a
to
huge game
evaluate.
for them, though. They had at home against the Cardinals. That's
You
a
have
win.
to win that.
They'd be at 5-6, 5-6-1, and that was a huge game. But now their season's over. Now their season's over. So, yep.
Which
So
is crazy.
do you think he coaches next year?
I don't think so. I don't think Mike McCarthy is the type of coach that can be a carousel coach like that and go from place to place to place.
Yeah.
I think he
I agree.
he was born to coach in Green Bay. He coached there for 14 years. He's a phenomenal coach for Green Bay for
he had Brett Favre,
13. Yeah, two of the best
They
quarterbacks.
could have made him.
They did. Very good argument. Extremely good argument.
Like Belichick, you can't say that. He coached with the Browns. He coached with a lot of teams.
No, yeah.
And obviously, Mike McCarthy was whatever. He was an offensive coordinator.
Somewhere.
Whatever he was, somewhere. You don't just become a head
No, but
coach.
you get blessed having quarterbacks
for
like
sure.
that. Like, are you kidding me?
That's why I think Mike Vrabel is such a good coach. He's winning with banged up Mariota, Blaine Gabbert,
yeah.
all these backcourt, and he's still
exactly. But
that team should not be as good as they are. But anyway, but I
There's
definitely.
but I don't think I just don't think you can move him. I think he was too much of a Green Bay hometown guy. I just don't think you'll be able to translate him. I think if he goes somewhere else, he's just gonna suck even worse.
He's been linked with Cleveland a ton, and I pray. I just
want him or not
No,
want
I
him?
pray
Yeah.
he doesn't get hired.
I just
think that'd be one of the worst things you could do for Baker, to develop Baker. I don't know.
To have a new coach is what you're saying?
No. Because
Or
obviously you're gonna have Mike McCarthy. I think they would butt heads.
Bad.
Look how because Mike McCarthy might be a football mind. I don't know how he doesn't get along with players all that well.
That's true.
And
That's
Rodgers and Baker are very similar. Both very confident guys.
It's very identical.
Very
almost.
outspoken. I mean,
The
in
more
terms
you-
of,
the more I
in terms
think
of
about it,
play,
yeah.
Rodgers is right now a better quarterback.
No, but Baker's there in terms of ability.
You can run the same. The same offense with both.
Yeah,
of them.
not ability, but the type of quarterback they are.
Exactly.
They're both incredibly accurate,
Yeah.
throw on the run.
Yep.
Pocket awareness. They're the same kind of quarterback, and that's a good point though. And they're both in the media, they're the same way, pretty much. So Aaron Rodgers doesn't talk a lot, but he just has a certain he's a swagger to him. He knows he's hot shit.
So I don't think Mike McCarthy would be a good hire at
I just
all.
don't think he could. I don't know where he'd go though.
Yeah.
And if you put him somewhere like the Jets or the Bills or somewhere Tampa Bay, somewhere that they don't have the Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly.
That,
But that'd be interesting.
I don't think he'd be good.
Could he make some offense? But
We'll see, but I don't think he'd be good without a quarterback like that.
I agree.
He's too used to having one.
How
were
but
they?
I guess we can.
They weren't good with. Who's that dude who subbed in last year when Aaron went down?
Hundley.
Hundley.
Oh no, they're off. They were one of the worst teams. They were one of the worst
teams in the NFL.
The Browns, the 0-16 Browns, took them to overtime.
Exactly.
They were bad. But yeah.
very bad. Like
That's
that's what I'm saying.
That's true. That's true.
That's the
But I mean,
kind of coach
I
see
will
him
say
as.
though, the Packers are a one-man team. Like they have
No, they are.
their wide receiver
100%,
core is
no,
weak.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, they have Jimmy Graham and
Agree.
Devontae Adams, but past that, not much.
But
of
you
anything.
think that like
Aaron Jones is good, but their O line's not very good. Their O line's not that good. Their defense is.
You could almost see
atrocious.
that Aaron, like if they didn't have Aaron Jones, like I don't know where they'd be.
Yeah,
They would have lost. You know,
Rodgers isn't having a very good year at all.
have a terrible
And
year.
I think they decided to put the blame on McCarthy first before Rodgers, but
No, yeah.
Um,
Well, they have to because you can't put the blame on a guy like that because then he's just gonna get frustrated or leave or something and not play, have a Le'Veon, you know, something like that. And you can't have that with A-Rod. But yeah, I don't know. Well, it'd be interesting to see if he coaches next year. I don't think he will. You think Speaking of that, do you think Urban Meyer is going to coach somewhere? Do you think he could be like a offensive coordinator or something?
This reminds me of Pete Carroll. I think something's going on there. Like something big at Ohio State is going to unravel in
Like
the Reggie Bush, so like something.
Like
He's hiding something.
locker room case or something.
Just like we already saw with the one coach who got fired, and they're investigating something else. And like I think he's getting out of there. He might try to go to the NFL, do it at something. And I just think college.
He's trying to run away.
I think he's gonna leave college football behind.
Crazy.
Maybe not next year. I think he'll take at least a year off. But
No, I think he will.
He's too young to retire. He's what, like 50?
Yeah, I don't think
Late
he's that
50s.
old.
I don't.
If even, he might be early 50s or late 40s. No, not late 40s, but 50s, I think. But
54.
50, yeah.
So he's too young to retire. But
As a coach.
But watch, if he'll leave college football, he'll screw Ohio State over. They'll get some scandal, blah blah blah, and then I think he'll leave. You can never Pete Carroll could never go back to the college. Urban Meyer will probably go do something, but
Well, he just takes over the Packers. That'd be funny.
that'll be interesting. But on to our last NFL story before we do our picks. Colin Kaepernick.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna back Colin Kaepernick. You have to. You have to say every time a new quarterback gets hired or gets signed, I should say, by a team, you compare Colin Kaepernick and say,
no,
is that guy better than Kaepernick? Is Josh Jackson better than Colin Kaepernick?
No,
But I agree with Gruden. It gets to a point the dude hasn't played in
No, that's what I was gonna bring up.
3 years.
That's what I was gonna bring
and he has to play. Josh Jackson has to play this week.
Yeah.
And it's like,
No, I
like,
just
come on.
think,
Don't get me wrong. Colin
I'm not
Kaepernick.
sure what Kaepernick is doing.
Maybe
there's
this offseason.
workouts
Yeah,
and stuff.
exactly.
But I
dude
can't see him There's no way he's.
He hasn't been on a roster in
He hasn't been around football
3 years.
and he hasn't.
He's not playing like a Canadian.
You don't see that. You just don't see players come out of retirement.
Don't get me wrong. He should be on a roster.
How long was Brett Favre out? What, a year until he came back?
Yeah.
I think But he was good. But that's the last person I can think of who could came out of something like that. You know what I mean? Took a break from the game and then came back.
Matt Barkley.
Sure, Matt Barkley is a great quarterback.
No, but he came out of. He wasn't playing for he didn't have a start for 4 years and then comes and throws 4 touchdowns.
But he was on teams.
What?
No.
Yeah,
he was going through reps. He was understanding offenses. There's no way you can throw Kaepernick in somewhere.
Yeah.
He would. He would be hit with.
He's working out on his own, I'm sure.
No, I'm sure he is.
Being a quarterback and having to learn a playbook in a week and
it's not even that. I don't think it's necessarily for that week. They should pick him up for the future anyway.
That's what I'm saying. That's why maybe this offseason it gets picked up. But I don't know. People got. It doesn't matter what they
will now. There has to be. I think there's something else.
This is kind of.
I think he's not working out or something. Why wouldn't teams?
No, this is a hot take, and I'll tell you why. But I don't want to get political or anything. But you don't want that distraction. You don't. It doesn't matter what the issue is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a good cause. It doesn't matter.
And you have.
People say all attention is good attention. It's almost the exact opposite in the NFL. It doesn't matter if it's a good cause.
You don't want attention.
People are so against it in the league. You just don't want it.
Yeah.
Whether you're for the cause or not. You just don't. You don't want that kind of attention. You don't want that attention. Yeah. And you want to play football. You're not there to make.
Plus, could you imagine? Could you imagine being the team finally picks up Kaepernick? Everybody's happy. Oh my God! Somebody picked up Kaepernick. Goes out. Loses the first 5-6 games of the season, absolute garbage. Throws, has like
And
15
then at that
picks.
point, it just turns into a point. It's just a point you make. Look, this is why we didn't sign him for so long. He's not good
Exactly.
anymore.
But then, but that just ruins your team.
I want a team to do it because I'm honestly like,
I'm sick of people talking.
I am.
That's what I am.
And like, don't get me wrong, I
am.
love Kaepernick. I love the stance he's taking. It needed to happen.
No,
I think
definitely
it's
did.
progressed social injustice in
for
America.
Sure. Oh,
Especially
100%.
it's made awareness to the issue, but I'm just so sick of hearing it. I don't care anymore. He's been out of the league.
Yeah.
I watch football to watch football. I don't care. Like I just want to. I want to watch football. I don't get on with it. It is what it is. So I almost want a team to pick him up and start him. I'm gonna root for him. Like
just to have it end, because he's
I,
either gonna be a good quarterback and everybody's gonna be like, all right, good, Kaepernick's
exactly.
good.
There you go. This is why
End of case, or he's gonna be bad and they're gonna drop him and then he's never gonna get picked up again and everybody's gonna be end of argument.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
yeah.
End of argument is somebody just picks him up and throws him in for 5 games.
Yeah, exactly. He just needs that chance again, but I don't think he'll ever get it.
I don't know if he will. He might. I think it'd be interesting if a team works him out. Or,
Yeah.
What if
Just give
the
him a workout.
Jags?
Just
Or
give
we were
him a
talking
workout.
about it. What if the Jags bring him in?
Just give him a workout.
And give him a workout.
How is no one giving him a workout?
I
Just
don't
to
know.
end
That's the thing.
and that would end a lot of people's.
That's the big turn.
Yeah.
There are a lot of arguments.
Because they gave him a chance, even if it's not a real chance. Even
Yeah.
even if they're just saying we're just doing this to say we gave him a chance. I put that in quotes, but yeah. So
No, yeah, I just thought that was an interesting topic because it came up again because Washington, not
yeah, no, we're talking about but
I don't know who they start. They start
Josh
Cody
Jackson.
No, who they start this week? Was it Josh? It wasn't Josh.
No,
Jackson.
Mark Sanchez.
Oh yeah, because they picked up Mark Sanchez
Yeah.
instead. And I was watching The Herd with Colin Kaepernick, and he said, or maybe not, it was something, but he said Mark Sanchez. The last time Mark Sanchez won a game was January 2015. The last time Kaepernick won a game, January 2015. It's been the same distance since they've started a game or whatever. But I don't know. It's just it's just one of those things that's gonna drag on until either he becomes too old to play or somebody does something with him.
So I think we can leave that there. Going on to our last topic. A lot of people's favorites. Got the picks of the week.
Your NFL picks of the week.
So I think we both took the Titans, right? Thursday Night Football.
Nope, I took the Jags.
Really?
I definitely took the Jags.
Really?
Pretty sure I did, yeah.
See, this is what's wrong with this, folks. At this point of the year, he's getting his ass whooped, and now he's just I need to make different picks so I can catch up. And he's not making smart picks; he's making different picks. And I can guarantee you, I'm going to tell him my picks. I should make you go first, really, because I'm going to tell you my picks, and you're just going to say, "Oh, I need to change that. I need to change that," because I can see them winning this game. How many picks did you switch last week, and they all ended up losing?
No, I picked
The
the
Vikings?
Jets. The Jets ended up winning.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
The Titans came back and beat
No,
them.
they didn't.
Who were they playing?
The Jets won. They beat the. They
you're
weren't
right.
playing
You're
the
right.
Titans.
You're right.
But somebody. But that was still. No, you're right.
The Titans game you picked.
That was the only game.
You switched. I would have.
I guess I can look at it.
You picked Buffalo to be. Oh yeah, that's it. You switched Miami to Buffalo.
I don't think I switched that one. I think I picked the Bills.
Oh yeah, the Tennessee definitely beat. You switched to the Jets, and Tennessee came back and beat them.
Oh yeah, because that was
the last
towards
second
the
touchdown.
end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All your switches lost.
Yeah.
Except for picks, you did switch to.
No, I didn't
Chargers.
switch to the Chargers. I picked the Chargers.
Oh, I thought you switched to them.
No, I didn't switch to the Chargers.
Anyway, on with our picks this week. I picked the Titans. You picked the Jags, I guess.
Yes. See, I did pick the Jags.
God, what am I? So I'm up.
That wasn't to be different either. I
know.
I thought the Jags.
we haven't
I
talked
legitimately
about
thought
it.
the Jags were gonna be.
Jeez, I'm up 7 points on you now.
Yeah, I know.
Coming into
You'll
crunch
win,
time.
but
All right,
I legitimately thought the Jags were gonna win.
coming in.
No.
Okay.
1 second. Who would have thought the Jags would have held the Colts to 0 points and then let the Titans put up 30?
Oh, I know. That's what someone tweeted.
That makes no sense whatsoever.
How hot the Colts
At
were.
all.
The Colts were so hot.
And the Colts are going to go put up
And the Jags have
25.
nothing to play for.
I guarantee the Texans game on Sundays will be a shootout.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be 35-28 Texans or something like that. I think we're giving up a lot of points.
Yeah. I mean, your defense has been hit or miss.
Yeah, exactly. Hit or miss, and I think we might
Your
miss.
defense hasn't
swing and
played
miss.
a good game in a while. Like a complete game. Like last week, their first half, you
It
couldn't
was
play
like-
much
yeah,
better.
yeah,
You had
yeah.
3 picks in the first half. Second half, you give up 450 yards.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Justin Reed got a lucky fumble.
Yeah. Anyway, first game we got Falcons at Packers. You see this in soccer all the time. I want to know what the win rate is the game after a coach gets fired.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just something like the morale of the team. Like, they just prove something and they
Browns.
win. They win. Yeah, they win all the time. So I think
I got the Packers.
I got the Packers.
The Browns.
No, I'm not saying you. I was just kidding. You can. You have to switch them if you want.
No,
I
do, but they have to be like close games.
No. Jets and Bills.
I try to make some.
I got the Bills.
Yeah, I got the Bills too.
I think Josh Allen hasn't looked that bad. I think he's promising. No, everyone knew he's gonna come in and be raw, and he wasn't gonna.
They should have won that game last week.
Yeah, they should have. Oh yeah, Charles Clay dropped that.
Charles Clay dropped it. Like it's both. It was partially both players' faults, but like, God, they should have won that game, dude.
That's a weird one. Panthers at Browns.
I got the Browns.
I got the Browns too. And everyone's been saying the Browns should easily win this game.
I don't think it'll be easy.
I don't either, but for whatever reason, all these analysts are like, everyone's picking them. Everyone's saying like they should kill them, which I was like, geez.
Damn. No, I don't think they should kill them. If they should kill the Panthers, and if they do kill the Panthers, then I think you got to put some real respect on like the Texans.
Yeah, no.
But
I don't know. Panthers are kind of weird this year.
I don't know. Especially like telling people who like somebody asked me like I was wearing my JJ jersey and they're like who the Texans play? I'm like the Browns. And they're like, oh, that's an easy one. I was like, it's not that way anymore.
We're a little different.
It's not that way.
Not that good, but we're
I did pick the Browns though too. Indeed.
Colts at Texans. I think we both have.
I don't think the Texans are
gonna. Give me a break. You've said you're picking them like 10 times this week.
No, you gotta let me finish my sentence. I said I don't think the Texans are gonna lose this game.
Okay. Then why did you say it like that after I said the Texans are gonna win? No. I don't think that the Texans are gonna lose this game.
No, but I've been telling you that all week. I honest to God don't like. I've been looking at this game like the last couple of weeks. Like I think this could be a game that we're gonna lose. But I mean, at home we are so hot. We're off 2 really good wins against that Titans win looks better now that they just smacked the Jags and the Browns. I mean, it was a good
really
team
too
effort.
Many bad wins in the NFL.
No,
there's games that you should definitely win.
But like winning games by that much against teams who can do that to the Jags. Yeah. And it's just, I mean, if you play the game like, oh, the Jags beat the Colts,
exactly.
And
we should be the best team in the NFL.
Exactly. Yeah. But
Jags beat the Pats. Pats beat the Chiefs.
The Titans beat the Patriots. Yeah. But I don't think we should lose this game. This isn't the game to lose. This would be a very bad game to lose.
You're the only team in the division that hasn't beat the Pats.
The Colts beat the Pats. I guess they haven't played them.
I think they still.
It's kind of funny though.
Anyway.
Played in week 1. That was annoying.
One of the games of the weeks. Number 1 defense versus number 1 offense. Ravens at Chiefs.
Ravens number 1 defense? Mm-hmm. I did not know that.
Scoring defense. I don't know about points allowed. Sorry. Maybe is that scoring defense? They said scoring defense on NFL. I don't know if that's that's points they've scored. Right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll look it up while you're talking.
So anyway, see if this was in Baltimore, I might pick the Ravens, but I think people are overhyping Lamar Jackson a little bit. Like, don't get me wrong, he could be.
They are.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, I'm saying they are.
Oh, they're overhyping. So, because he can be a good quarterback, but the teams he's played Oakland, the banged up Cincinnati, and another bad, and then he's playing another bad defense in Kansas City this week. So I think he's getting overhyped a little bit. He might not even play, by the way, this week. But
no, yeah, they are the number 1 in points allowed.
Okay.
214 points.
Yeah.
Dallas is 223.
They said the offense has won like 9 of the last 10 times in a regular season game.
Oh, really? When it's 1-1?
Yeah. And so I think, or 10 to 12.
I believe that.
So, I think they're going to win again. I'm taking the Chiefs for sure.
I think offense is the best defense, and then I mean. Some people say defense is the best offense.
It goes both ways, but people underestimate.
In this day and age, though, of football, I think offense.
People underestimate how. That's why the Jags were so good last year. If you have a nice chippy, take your time down the field, you can give your defense a break, but still put up points. Oh, there's nothing that beats it.
Well,
versus like the Broncos last year and the Browns last year, they turnover, the offense is on the field for a minute, and then the defense has to go back out there, and the defense isn't bad, but when you have to be out there for 2/3 of the game every game, that's tough. So
yes, indeed. I do, however, have I got the Chiefs. Yes.
Yeah. Patriots at Dolphins. This is a very interesting one. No way should the Patriots lose to the Dolphins, but they've lost four. They've lost 4 of the last 5. The Dolphins haven't been playing bad lately.
No, I'm gonna stick to.
But the Patriots are hot. The Patriots are hot. I don't see them.
Patriots in December.
Yeah. Another interesting one. Saints at Bucks. Bucks are a weird team.
Interesting. That's
Bucks,
interesting to you.
They beat them in the week 1, and it's at home this time. It'll be a shootout. I promise you that. Okay.
No,
I think the Saints win, but
I don't think it's gonna be a shootout.
This is your 21 point.
Perhaps. Let me look over.
Anyway, but yeah, I got the Saints. I don't think it'll be that close, but I think the Bucks will hold their own. You know they will too. Bucks will hold their own. Don't say anything stupid.
Yeah. 21 point lock.
21. There you go.
Saints are Bucks. There's no way that they don't come back off of that loss to Dallas and just absolutely manhandle
Oh, they
them.
might.
They all will.
Giants at Redskins. I got the Giants.
I got the Skins.
Really?
I do.
Mark Sanchez is going to win a game.
Mark Sanchez is going to win a game.
All right. All right, so we're different there. Bengals at Chargers. This would be my 21 point lock if I did that. But Chargers at home.
Just true. The Bengals have been playing really bad.
Playing really bad. AJ Green's out for the year. They have a Jeff Driscoll starting.
Yeah,
half their defense.
That's an easy lock, though. Come on now. God, dude, the Chargers are really about to have 10 wins.
I think the Chargers are 14-point favorites.
We're really about to have 10 wins and be in a wild card spot.
Maybe.
In December.
They're tied with the Chiefs. I think they still have to play them, don't they?
Maybe.
I wonder. I should see.
Probably. I think they do. Oh, that's going to be such a good game.
For the division?
Oh, my. Oh, that'd be a dummy.
Oh, no, they play the Broncos. They play in Kansas City next week, though.
Next week? In Kansas
God, that
City?
schedule's tough.
Who
Chargers
play?
last 3 weeks in Kansas City versus the Ravens in Denver. And Denver could be fighting for a wild card.
3 of those.
Denver's schedule can't get much easier. Obviously, we just said they have to play the Chargers, but this week they play the 49ers, then they play the Browns at home, then they play Oakland, and then they play the Chargers at home.
Yeah.
Which they could go into that game 9-6. Who would have thought? Sorry. Yeah, 9-6, 9-6. They have a good possibility of going in.
They should go in 9-6.
Yeah. If anyone's trying to take me to the Browns game, I mean. But anyway, so yeah, both got the Chargers there. Speaking of that game, Broncos at 49ers. Broncos, go ahead and take the 49ers if you want.
No, I'm not taking either. In that game.
This is the most interesting game of the week, I think.
By far, it's going to be such a good
Eagles
game.
at Cowboys.
I think this is game of the week.
On paper, I can see the Cowboys killing them. But there's just something about divisional games, and especially the NFC East. Those games are fun.
Wait, you see who killing?
I could see the Cowboys killing the Eagles.
I can too, but it's not going to happen.
But I don't think it'll happen either. I think it'll be a good game. I got the Cowboys, but
I got the Cowboys too.
At home, they've been so good.
It's so good, and they've just been so good lately too. Like I said, they're on the second largest winning streak in the NFL, which is 4 games. They could make that 5. They could go into the playoffs as a team that could really rival with, give the Saints or the Rams or somebody like that, a run for their money. Give them a game.
Oh, for sure. All right. Probably the worst game of the week, Lions at Cardinals. You'll probably just take whoever. I'm going to switch this pick. I'm going to go with the Cardinals.
I'm taking the Lions, but I'm keeping that with the Lions.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep it too then. Oh, shoot. So I backed out of it. I had the Lions too, but yeah, that team.
I don't know, though. They beat the Packers, which at this point isn't saying much, but that's a big win on the road.
I'm going to go with the Cardinals.
Yeah. It's not a bad pick. But the Lions have had a tough schedule, though.
They have, but they've been playing really bad,
They have been.
All right, another bad game, I guess. Steelers at Raiders. The Raiders aren't going to win.
So funny if the Raiders somehow go in the game. That'd be could you imagine being the Steelers and week 1 you tie to the 0-17 or what? How many losses you had in a row?
Yeah.
Browns, and then you go, who else did they lose to the other night? They lost to the Broncos.
Well, they lost to the Broncos
at the very
lost
end.
A bad game. The Chargers, they blew a 20.
They've had some very bad losses this year, which might not be good going in the playoffs. Like that could.
Well, it'll cost them seeding to begin with, and
maybe
the division.
But
anyway, on to the next game. This is a very good game too. Is Trubisky starting? I wonder. Have you heard? Because I said I thought he was last week.
I think he is. Well, I think they said he's back. I'm not sure if
Rams at Bears, by the way.
I'm not sure if they said he's starting, but I think he's definitely back. But I don't know if they're gonna wait a week on him or something. Even if he is, I still think the Rams are gonna win that game. The Rams are just they're just too good. I went to the Saints for like 2 weeks for the best team in the NFL, and I am right back with the Rams.
Okay, so he is starting.
I don't think there's nobody.
I don't think they're gonna stop him, but in Chicago against that legit.
No,
that's gonna be a good game.
I think Sunday it's gonna be a really good game, but I just don't see. I don't think the Rams are gonna be. I don't think the Bears are gonna be able to keep up offensively.
Yeah,
they're both very similar teams. The Rams, it's just crazy. The Rams have one of the best defenses on paper in the league, and they have like statistically the top offense. Second to the Chiefs.
Third. I might be top now that the Saints didn't do anything.
Yeah. Insane, dude.
But yeah, so I'm taking the Rams too.
Insane.
But Mitchell Trubisky's won some. I think they're going to be good in the next couple of years.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. They I've been getting Mac. And,
this game.
They got some young corners. Kyle Fuller.
Last game of the week, Monday night game. Finally, a good Monday night game. I think they start doing this at the end of the year usually, but this is a huge game.
Massive.
I think whoever wins this probably makes the wild card. Especially if the Seahawks win. So we got Vikings versus Seahawks. That's interesting. If the Rams win and the Vikings win, the Vikings are half a game back in the division for that, and I think they still have to play the Bears. So that'll be interesting. But Seahawks
at home or on the road.
Seahawks at home. I gotta take the.
They've been playing so not remarkably what am I trying to say? Like surprisingly well. Nobody expected the Seahawks to come in and be anywhere close to wild card. They thought they'd be terrible, but they've been playing really good
Vikings
football.
Play the Bears last game of the week or last game of the season.
In Minnesota. In Minnesota. See, that's the difference maker
too, though. They play Seattle this week in Seattle, but then they play the Dolphins at home in Detroit, and then they get to play the Bears at home.
So that just makes this game. This is a huge game for the Vikings.
Whereas the Bears have to play the Rams and then Packers, which they should win both those, and then 49ers. So both of them have.
They're about the same setup, but if the Vikings beat the Bears that last week, they'll have the
tiebreaker because the Vikings have a tie. So
that's right.
So that'll be interesting.
No, but wouldn't that put
they have a
Vikings
tie?
Ahead?
They have a tie, so there can't be they can't. I'm saying they can't finish with the same record.
Yeah, but they'd have less losses, right?
Well, I'm saying they're going into the last week. They can't be a tiebreaker.
Less losses. If the Vikings win out, they'd have. The Vikings would be the number one if they won out and beat the Bears at home. And the Bears lose to the Rams.
Yeah,
and whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
there's no tiebreaker, but I was confused. The Vikings would actually win that division.
If the Vikings win out, they make the playoffs.
Oh yeah, they will.
But yeah,
well, especially beating teams like the Seahawks, that helps.
Actually, no, I misspoke. Actually, if the Bears won the next three and then lost, they'd still get in. But
obviously, if they beat the Rams, then that's.
Anyway,
that'd be crazy if they beat the Rams. So what is it? I think we only have one difference. That's kind of lame.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lions and I think Lions and I picked the Packers. You picked the Falcons?
No, I picked the Falcons.
Yeah.
I think it might be just the Lions. It is.
Yeah, you didn't pick the Falcons. Oh no, I picked the Redskins.
Oh yeah, that's right. Lions and Redskins.
We got
the worst games of the week, probably.
We got two.
Those are the ones to pick differently.
Definitely the worst.
Anyway, thank you guys for joining. It was a fun episode. There's a lot of sports news this week, but yeah, we'll try to get new guests on next time. The Phone a Fan was fun, and we'll post it later. Give us your feedback. Send us any questions in if you got us. Follow us on Twitter, the Turnaround Sports Podcast, and thanks for listening, I guess.
Oh my God, Ronnie. White J, white Porsche, white wrist, white horse, white bitch. bitch, die bitch, die bitch. I do not see fit to run it. And do